Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew in a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Blitz, Bama, Blitz.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Weekly Joe podcast. It is a Weekly Joe Extra tonight. Extra special guest tonight, Scott McClanahan, former Alabama player from the 1999 to 02 teams. Very relevant in that he played on the 99 team that is now the second most recent team from Alabama to go to Omaha. We're going to talk to Scott tonight about that team, his other years at Alabama, the three after that, and a couple of near misses in that regard, and his neat route that got him to Alabama and into baseball, and what he's doing now. As always, I have Roger Myers with me. I'm Paul Graham here at the Weekly Joe. Hope you caught our earlier recording from that we posted today with our group discussing the trip to Omaha upcoming and our thoughts on the upcoming series and our predictions. And Roger was the probably the one we hope is right out of that crew. But all that said, welcome Scott McClanahan. Scott, how are you?
Man, doing great. Thank you for having me. And I never dreamed it would be this long to get back to Omaha, but I'm sure glad we did.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome. Scott, a member of the 99 team. That was some club. And I mean, you look back just at the numbers of that team, 53-16 overall, 37-4 at home. I mean, we saw the home environment that we had the other night. I imagine y'all had some pretty good home environments down the stretch with that team.
Yeah, the late 90s was a pretty fun baseball era, right? You had Alabama, who was powerhouse and dominant, and they had just gone to the World Series in 97. So we stepped into 99 feeling pretty significant. I was a freshman, so a lot of those numbers I wouldn't say were coming off of my bat, but I was out there and felt that I got to be a part of it and realized how special it was early.
Yeah. That team won the SEC tournament. Had a 16-game winning streak late season, all the way into the regional round, before finally kind of running into the buzzsaw that was Miami that year. Miami knocked you guys out twice in Omaha, and eventually won the national championship. So if you're gonna fall, that's probably who you're likely to fall to. Anyway, memories of that Miami team.
Oh my gosh, do I? I know I was on deck as a freshman with 2 outs for the last game. He had just gone in for a defensive replacement, so I'm sitting on deck over there. And I'd like to tell you that I was just thinking about hitting home runs, but I was like, I'm about to end everyone's season in this, So I don't remember who it was that got out in front of me, and I was kind of course, sad, but going, man, I'm glad I didn't let these seniors down. I mean, because that's, you got G.W. Keller and Andy Phillips, and I think Andy Phillips had the longest hitting streak in the country forever during that season. And you just got to see, some guys who had experienced Omaha and all that kind of put you on the back and lead you in there. And we didn't know how special it was.
Yeah, exactly. And again, the 3 years that followed for you guys, you go 41-24 in 2000. A Stanford team that pretty stout as well. Not you guys out before you can get to Omaha. A little step back in 2001, and then 02, a really strong team. I guess it's been your senior year. That team goes 51-15. Another, I mean, these are incredible numbers. The home numbers, 35-4 at home at the Old Joe that year. Memories of that team a little bit.
I can walk through each year just when you said it, because, our sophomore year, we were heroes coming back. We're like number 3 in the country, and we're obviously going to go back to Omaha. We've lost those seniors that they were nice to have. And then we didn't even make it to the SEC tournament. We sat there and listened to LSU get swept by Auburn at home, and you're going, we're not even going to the tournament. So that was a real humble moment. Then we get to take out to Stanford, and we're facing Justin Wayne, and I'd been in a hitting slump, and we're out there. It's pretty fun to go to the West Coast. We saw a Giants game and did some team stuff. But I hit a grand slam off Justin Wayne. He was like the 4th pick overall. He'd just been selected, and I decided, man, I'm doing my post-game interview. I'm ready to talk about it. And Joe Borchard comes up there, switch hitting, winds up being one of the greatest, baseball players of that era. and hits the easiest home run I've seen. And no one was interviewing me after the game. That was awful. And then our senior, so each moment has just that defining moment where you end your season, right? And then Lance Cormier was just taking us down the track. 2002, we kind of knew it was special and we wanted to get there and all that. And we just we missed in the regional. It was awful. A great team that just kind of didn't deliver. And after watching this team, you go, it looks easy to get to Omaha. I mean, they cruised through the regional and then the super regional. I'm like, they're already in Omaha. Like that's so easy. And then you go, it's been like 27 years. It's not so easy. I think lots got to line up, but we misaligned my senior year.
Yeah, that Florida Atlantic team, not twice at the Joe, where you didn't lose a lot of games that year, but is it? What do you remember about that team, or any big names of that team?
I know we didn't start Lance Cormier for the opening game because we were so confident, and man, that's like missing an extra point. What that felt like. So I don't know. That one's one you all look back and go.
That's why you
gotta go with your big dog on the big night, no matter how good you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And 27 years or 25 years later, that bit some teams in regionals and supers this year too, didn't it, Roger?
Yes, it did. Yes, there was a couple of teams that probably wish they had gone back and started their number one guy. And we had a certain portion of our fan base that was very upset that Tyler Fay was starting on game one. And I was like, I mean, those guys went in order every week without fail. None of them missed a start. And I saw no reason personally to mess up a good thing and put them out of rhythm and just go with what you have, what's been working for you.
So, well, when you're doing a podcast every week for an hour and a half, you got to have some contrarian opinion. So that's probably why I was on that boat. But Scott, everyone, of course, Lance is such a visible guy. He's still doing the ESPN broadcast. He's always on been on our radio calls and our TV calls over the years. Now, son is at Auburn, had a great freshman year. Talk a little bit about Lance as a teammate and Lance as your ace and those late years.
I mean, Lance and I, we were freshmen together. We came up together. We did our classes together. So he and I were extremely close. But I got two great Lance stories. Lance comes back, so I'm now gone into the investment world. I'm no longer at baseball, and I'm just early days. There's nothing, it's grinding real life work. Yeah. And Lance has come back from being the rookie of the year, basically pitcher. He had like the most innings without an earned run in like the Diamondbacks history, and just had a streak. So he was doing so well. So he came back, and I said, man, tell me about this. We all had the same dream. You're the one living it. Like, how is it? And he's like, oh, it is so much better than we dreamed. And I was like, just hit you right in the heart. And I was like, I know it is. And so I don't know. That was just such a moment. But watching his career, enjoying his career, we've been friends, ever since. Is one of my closer relationships, and his gym that he has developed after baseball. But he just carries excellence everywhere he goes and what he does. And we loved having him on the mound because he's such a competitor. And his son now going to Auburn. So my dad pitched for Auburn, and then I kind of did the switcheroo and went to Alabama on him. And so Lance and my dad have gotten to be pretty close friends with this Auburn connection. And this, oh, my son failed me, but is successfully failing me, right? They kind of had to shift gears.
And LJ had a really nice year for Auburn.
Oh my gosh.
I think that probably surprised a lot of people that he was used as much and as often as he was, and that he was successful so early.
Doesn't surprise anyone that knows Lance, because that's all the things he did, right? He was successful early, kind of unassuming, and then when I kind of now I kind of get to feel what my dad felt when you're going, God, how did we miss? Right? I want that closer going out there and getting it done and handling it and can be a starter. And I don't know, he reminds me a lot of his dad in the way he carries himself, but he's got a lot of horsepower in there too. And it's been fun because my parents, being such Auburn fans, get to celebrate through one of my Alabama teammates' success back to us, because they just did my dad's reunion.
I'd like to put that in your face a little bit, I'm sure.
My dad's pretty chirpy at baseball games, and so we're at the Auburn Alabama game.
I noticed when you brought him to the
I said,
Auburn
hey, it's not
series.
real fun when you're wearing Auburn stuff. Your chirpy just sounds mean. Like it's not working. But we did sweep them, and it was 3 generations of our baseball. Because my son was there as well, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So talk about your dad's career at Auburn timeline and when he played, what he played. A little bit about that, how he got there. Did he grow up Auburn fan, or you just get recruited there, or what was it?
Grew up an Alabama fan and then switched over, so it just happens when you're in the state, right? But no, he was an incredible pitcher. Went to Austin High School. We are going in I think 2 weeks. He's getting inducted into the Morgan County Hall of Fame.
Oh,
So he was
nice.
on the state championship basketball team at Austin during that time. Then he went to college and was part of that. I want to say the '76 World Series because I think they just had the 50-year reunion, right? So
Wow.
he went to Omaha and got to play in Rosenblatt Stadium, and then I did. And there was a point where they did an interview with us because there was a dozen father sons that had been in Omaha together, and it's just a neat thing to be connected through. So, my son's now a rising sophomore at Mountain Brook, and I think you understand how difficult it really is to get to a place, to get to one of these incredible schools, incredible programs, and then to get to Omaha. You go, wow, that was, when you did it, it was 100% of your life experience. But when you now get to participate in someone else's, it's like, man, that's some pretty rare air, and I'm excited to get to see what he does.
Yeah. Roger, go into it with him, the experience, some of his unique experiences growing up.
Well, yes. Of course, I've heard these stories from you before, but tell us about living in Germany and playing in the Little League World Series for another country other than the U.S. and not once, but twice.
When people design how you're going to get an opportunity to play baseball, we were not thinking about that at all. I came home one day and my dad works for General Motors, and they told us, hey, we're going to move to Germany. Like, what? Like, I'm playing baseball. This is kind of our thing. We're at the Boys and Girls Club, Decatur, Alabama, and all of a sudden we're living in Germany and I'm playing soccer and there's no baseball even around. And I'm not military, so I couldn't go onto the military base. So it was really just like I got to, as a 10-year-old, miss this sport that I love so much at a time when people were kind of getting burned out, I would say. And so I missed that 10-year-old year. And then here comes 11, and my mom found a way for me. She might have overstated our relationship with a Colonel Prouty, who, if you knew Colonel Prouty, you might be able to play baseball at the Kaiserslautern military base, but you would definitely need his approval, and nobody would have said they had his approval that didn't have it, except for my mom. And we did get to meet Colonel Prouty later and got to appreciate him, and his son played on one of our Little League World Series teams. But I was allowed to participate in baseball, and all of a sudden something that had been taken away was given back. And I developed pretty early. And so at 11, I was quite a good player, and at 12, even better. But imagine this incentive structure. You take 2011 and 12-year-olds, because we had the Ramstein military base or Air Force base and the Kaiserslautern Army base, and they combined both programs. So there's so many kids to choose from. Then they gave our coaches 3 months off military service to serve as our coaches. Well, they said, well, we work 8 to 5, young men, so we will practice 8 to 5. Bring your lunch pail. And so, and for somebody that got a year of baseball removed, and they coached us in a very disciplined, we're going to go get after it. If the ball doesn't go on the ground, it goes over the fence, which is why I'm a center fielder, because they were like, if this is too hot for you, you need to get in the outfield. And I was like, I think I need to get in the outfield. Like, y'all are breaking the wrists.
That worked out pretty well for you.
It did work out well. I still don't love a ground ball. I think what they do is impressive. But because of that, we had a bunch of American kids that were kind of stuck, maybe not by their choice, in Germany. And we had this unbelievable coaching staff. And so 2 years in a row, we got to represent, Germany, or the European division of the Little League World Series. And every year they'd have us a translator there. And we're like, we're good. Every one of us are from the United States. Like, we don't need a translator. I know it's weird, but we are so excited to be here. So just to do that at 11 and 12, and to not write cursive, but learn to sign autographs, was a little bit of an odd experience, because you'd sign autographs as an 11-year-old, and that's just kind of blew your mind.
I was going to ask, and you just answered, if you had any actual German kids on the team. So it's totally American team.
All Americans. Wow.
They would not
But
waste their soccer athleticism on our
Oh,
baseball.
you're obviously a large person. Were you big? Were you big as a kid, or did you have a late
Yeah.
growth start?
No, I was. If I can look back and be happy about anything, I said when I was 12 years old, my bucket of baseballs we hit with were my home run balls because we just 12. If I go back to just live 12, I was like, it
Mm,
was pretty easy and that was a lot of fun. But it was because I was big early. By age 14, I was just about fully grown, which let me, get to participate in higher level sports and get more opportunities.
So
mm.
when did you guys come back and settle in Hartselle and play for the legendary coach at Hartselle?
Oh
And
my gosh. Yeah.
what
What a
age?
gift. William Booth. So
Yeah, but
so I left Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And when I turned 13 of August 29th, and we drove to Hartselle, Alabama to move there. So it was a unique experience to come into Hartselle as the kid that just left the College World Series and a lot of articles about you. They weren't, too excited to have this. I think one of them said baseball star moves to Hartselle. And I was like, boy, this is not setting me up on very good footing,
no.
you know, especially moving from Germany. And so, but it, wound up being the greatest decision. And my parents really made that decision because it reminded them a lot of what they had at Austin. And so we moved back to Hartselle and they were very welcoming. And the Coach Booth, my goodness, he won because he was worked harder than anybody. And so we'd get there at 6 a.m, and then your first period was athletics, and you'd bring your breakfast, and you had to be there. And he just, if we outworked everybody, then you could learn to win. And I just left my Germany discipline coaches. I just fell right into my next slot of somebody that had a passion for helping young men get a lot of reps and really cared. And what a superhero William Booth was. We lost him last year.
Last year, yeah.
Were you center fielder all the way through? And probably, I would imagine you pitched some too.
Pitched a little bit, yeah.
You're
I
too good of
pitched
an
up through
athlete.
the World Series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you're big, you're just throwing it by everybody. And then I realized that I throw a very hard but straight baseball. And a straight baseball, I don't care how hard you throw. And so once I got about, and Hartzell was pretty serious about you had to pick. Do you want to be a pitcher or a hitter? And for good or bad, I just said I have to play every day. I wasn't built to pitch
to
every
sit.
5 days and sit. And so you take my bat away, I was like, no way, I want to hit. So they kind of got that decision on me early, and I think it was correct. But I did love pitching.
So you had a high school classmate or at least schoolmate that has a player on the team,
Yeah.
the current Alabama team, and Suzanne Mizell, right?
Oh yeah, so we get 3 generations there because Mickey Hembree's the granddad, and when you see a Hartzell player playing center field, right? That's like it just connects the generations back to each other, and he is just an absolute hoss too. I know he's dealt with some injuries and things of that nature, but when you have Hartzell and Alabama connected, we're bonded together, especially with center field on there. So I'm proud of seeing him. Watched him in high school, watched him come to Mountain Brook, and they beat us in the semifinals of the state tournament. And I was real torn because I was like, I just wanted to see somebody that's playing your old position at your old school that's doing great. So he's been an incredible athlete.
And a lot, kind of pipeline to Hartzell. We got a lot of guys on that team right now that from Hartzell has kind of always been that way. You feel like it feels like we've had.
Well, I as an Auburn person move into Hartsville, go on to Alabama, I can agree with you 1,000%. It was kind of the feeder, and Jonathan Blankenship kind of set the the way for me because he had just gone, and so some familiarity with a player a year above you, it kind of does pull you in that direction. It's helpful. I can see how that's been that way for a long time.
Yeah. What you see enough of this team? You're not sitting there living and breathing it day in, day out like we are of the current team. But what similarities do you see kind of between this team and the types of teams Coach Wells put together that you were on? Particularly the World Series team, the 02 team. Obviously those 6 team that got so close. What do you see in these guys that maybe is similar or different even?
Well, I mean, baseball is a unique sport. So a lot of it's body language, right? I mean, can you
Mhm.
go out there? Do you got a dog in the infield? Somebody that's just going to, no matter what, show up. And I think they got
Mhm.
that in LeBron, right? Do you have
Yes,
some
absolutely.
pitchers that are going to go out there on a Friday night and give you, like, you feel like you're going to win? And then does the team have the kind of the effort together to support the energy or the ego, bravado, all that stuff that it takes to when you're behind, come back? And then when those things start clicking together, right? That you kind of get that momentum. And so I can't compare the teams from position to position, but the energy and the expectation and a higher, it takes some winning to do that. And I say what Alabama has struggled in the past is in the SEC, good looks pretty bad.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
kind of got to be great. And it's tough to be great until you've created some form of greatness that people want to jump on that
Mhm.
bandwagon. And then you kind of get some momentum. And so I'm real proud of this team for stepping into. I'll never forget when Coach Vaughn got here and brought his young coaching staff. And I was like, this is different. Like, this is fun. They're pretty,
Yeah.
high energy. And we're got a bunch of alumni in the room. And I think we're at Bright Star, right? I
We
mean, so
were.
this
Yeah,
is
yeah. I was
Yeah,
there.
this
that
We were
preseason thing. We were
right.
there.
So it's
Yeah.
not one of these moments that it's like classic. The new coach comes in from Maryland and we're like, we don't have any NIL money. We don't have enough of this. The facilities are kind of, and he just looked at us and went, I have everything I need to
Yeah.
have a championship team here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all been too close to it. It's unbelievable here. And if I
Mhm.
can't win with what we have, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
And it kind of just changed the energy of the whole room. And
Mhm.
we all went, you're right.
Mhm.
We're not perfect, but we're not as broken as we keep chirping about. And he
Right.
walked out there and took that. We're not broken. We have everything we need to win, and he's doing it. And I think it's his leadership and understanding that we weren't missing anything. We just need to go out there and get a great team and win. And
Mhm.
he's done that. And that's real easy to say, real hard to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A major like culture reset. I guess I'd feel like it feels like he's spent from the jump was like trying to set the culture. And now now that team's got an identity and the program's got an identity and it's got a very visible culture that a lot of programs now with the way they bring in guys. Sometimes it works. I mean, it's working great for Georgia this year. Didn't work for LSU this year, but it worked the year before. It's kind of hit or miss, but it feels like it's probably more difficult to build a culture in today's environment. But it feels like he's doing that here.
Well, you can't build it if it's not genuine, right? I mean, so if
Yep.
you get such a short window, it's got to actually be who you are, live, breathe, sleep, and then people want to participate in it. And that's what they have. And I
Mhm.
do think I like the youth of the coaches. I mean, you want to really connect to the young players, having a young coaching staff is valuable and the energy level and the, hey, let's go get it. And I think he brings he brings everything that young men need to go out there and fight for him. And I think
Mhm.
Coach Vaughn has set that tone, even with alumni day one, by being just so genuine. But I can tell you this, he didn't walk in with a culture that we were all shining about, right? I mean,
Yeah. Right.
we walked through some our times. And so it wasn't, not only was he not on Alabama footing, he had Alabama expectations with some tough footing. So I think he's done a double win for the program.
Yeah.
Scott, how about just sort of the memories of going to Omaha and what these boys will experience and extra media attention, extra interviews, parades and such. What should they expect, and how was that experience for you guys? And I don't it could have changed a lot as far as what they do, but or the way they do things, but probably sort of the still same kind of thing.
There's definitely similarity. The similarities as baseball becomes so relevant, right? You're used to sitting in the shadow of football and basketball a little bit, and sometimes that's okay, right? But all of a sudden, you kind of put yourself out there. And Alabama fans, they reward winning, and they show up for winning, and they get on board, and all the. And when you've had this big of a gap, you're connecting a lot of generations together that are excited about the program. So I think what we felt was you kind of the younger you are in the whole process, and I don't think there's any way I can't help but think about it from my point of view now, which was in hindsight, oh my goodness, we took it for granted a little bit how amazing it was. And I think coming off of 90, I don't think they're going to have that experience. That's something we did because we went back so quickly, and it felt like just an every other year thing. And this is just what we do. And then to not have it your senior year and then take this long and then look backwards, you realize how special it is. So I think because of the gap since it's been there, and they're the team that put Alabama back on the map to getting back to Omaha, I think they'll really get to absorb that they're not going to take this for granted, and they're there. Now, what we hope they can do is take that same experience of enjoy that you're the ones that got it back, but you're also there to win, right? Because it goes quick, and it is meaty, and it's flash, and you want to change bats, and you don't know this and all that, and all of a sudden you just got to go out there and compete. But I think every athlete's looking for that environment. That is the reward, is that environment. So no one's going to be overwhelmed by it. Their game will elevate to it, and they're going to love getting to compete in a sport they love in a very relevant experience.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, more attention on this week. I mean, the stakes are so much higher. It's like, college football has so many different weekends that everybody's got their eyes on, specific games and different games. Everything kind of focuses on Omaha. It's all about getting Omaha. It's almost Omaha bus for most programs. But
it's a stage, right? It is a stage, and it's a very elite. It's very few teams. And what they probably don't know yet is it makes the team so much cooler next year. Right.
Yes.
And so you really got to show, because people learn the personalities, they learn the people on the team, and then they get to come back. And that next year, if you're good, then you just now you got a fan base that's really dominating, right? When we sell out the stands and we win 8-1 in the opening of the Super Regionals or whatever, with maybe 9-1, all of a sudden those fans, they want to come back, because that was my brother-in-law, who had never been to a baseball game, is the loudest, biggest Marine Alabama fan. And he was like, there's 9 minutes of action and 9 innings of baseball. Like, I'm not going. He even told me when I invited him to the Super Regional, I might need to leave early. And he left that thing going, this is the greatest sport. I'm a Alabama baseball fan. And so, you just forget how cool it is to have a great winning team, and for new fans and even people that have been Alabama fans a long time.
Right. And I think the other thing, I mean, we talked about this a lot last night, and we've seen it pressed out there. The last 3 years of the 8 spots in that at Omaha, so 24 total spots. It's been 23 teams. I mean, basically, North Carolina's the only one that's been twice, in that 3-year span. So getting back is can be challenging.
Yeah, you don't just line up the biggest linemen and they win, right? I mean, you got to get momentum. You got to have a lot of things. You got to have injury-free. You got to have great pitchers. I mean, the stars got to line up, and it has to line up not at the time of the season when you need it. And so now that's happened to 8 teams together, and now they all get to face each other. Now who shows up? I mean, it's just, college baseball is a pretty easy sport to love, because it is kind of I can say, redheaded stepchild of some of the college sports. And so because of that, when they do focus on those 8, they give them all of it. And I think that's really cool to get to experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you look at on this team that, if this team's going to get through that first 2 games and make a run to, obviously the first objective is win your bracket. But who do you see as the guy that's got to make that happen for us?
I mean, shortstop, right? LeBron, he's got to I don't even care how he plays. It's more about him bringing that energy to where the people look around him and go, hey, we can jump on somebody's back who's prepared for the moment. And that might be different for different games. I think it's consistent. I mean, the shortstop carries the weight. That's part of it. And LeBron's kind of taken that role. But you don't know who's going to be the Omaha kind of lifeblood. But I know that your consistent big dogs have to be very fearless in this moment. And normally that's who they are anyways, right? So it's just giving them an opportunity to show up. And if they're struggling even a little bit, something that they're doing, like if the bat's not there, you're doing a great shortstop, right? You just got to make sure that you're giving what you can bring and not over pressuring it, but that's what makes great players. They step up in those moments. I think our pitching staff has to really get up there and set a tone. To give everyone just, who's going to score the first couple runs, who gets the first home run, right? Just those moments that you go, can we be the first and feel like we're here more so than the others might be, and let that shell shock happen the other way? And I really think whoever gets that momentum first, I think that's important. I don't know who has to show up to get it, though.
Yeah. Right. Go ahead, Roger. Yep.
Well, I was just taking all that in. I agree with you on that. If Justin is Justin, then Alabama has a chance. When if he's going to do something in every game that you might not have ever seen before, and
Yeah.
then throw on the great year that Brady Neal and Bryce Fowler have had. And those three at the top of the order, are huge. And then Tyler Fay, Zane Adams, and Miles Upchurch have handled it from the pitching end, and you get great performances from those guys, and then some of the supporting cast comes through and does something great. You've got something working. So
I mean, it's Omaha. You need all your big dogs and a couple you weren't counting on.
Right. No, absolutely. And I think the good thing for this team going in there, I mean, mind you, we're in the worst side of the bracket. You've got, it's all SEC. Georgia's there, Texas there. One of them is bound to win this thing. But you get Oklahoma first, and you've got some confidence from having beaten Oklahoma 2 out of 3. Nobody's picking Oklahoma. Nobody's picking Alabama either. But you get to go head to head with them, and one of us comes out of that with a win and a little bit of confidence going into that next.
Yeah. Don't we have a Todd Butler over there in Oklahoma that was our 1999 coach for this team? And so let me tell you something. I don't overlook anything that has Todd Butler on it. And the biggest thing, he was our hitting coach. And I'm not telling any inside information on the other team, but what he was so gifted at is he would come up and say, hey, the pitcher holds his glove like 2 inches to the left every time he's throwing a curveball. You're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, what? And you go up there and the guy, Cressy, whoever the catcher was for LSU during our run that we just kept beating LSU forever. He was like the greatest catcher. He would bounce on curveballs. And we knew it for multi years that, oh gosh, we didn't know every curveball that's going to happen because he's bouncing on them. And Butler would come over and be like, hey, here's how we're going to work on picking up. So he was a master at finding a tell on the other team. So what I would warn Coach Vaughn and the team is that we got a professional card player over there that reads pitchers. Keep it buttoned up.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, before we wrap up with you, couple minutes, you're still in the record books of all that, of all that's going on, of all the great players that have come along, and you play in a very offensive era, right? I mean, so a lot of these records are going to stand. You're 8th in games played. Now these are before the season, I think probably 227. You're 8th in runs scored, 188. 51 doubles. You're 10th, and actually stole 56 bags. You're number 4 all time. Probably 5. I'm sure Justin's passed you this year.
Justin's up over 60. So yes.
Wow.
So talk about the wheels back then,
and I think I'm still in the throw. I think I had the
outfield assist.
I had that for a minute.
Mathis passed you as number 1, but
Pinckney had to be up there. Yeah.
But Jeremy Brown got a lot of my assists. It shows you how special a moment in time was, right? Where we had some, great coaching, great players, high expectations. And that was kind of, I wish I'd have stolen 75 bases when I think back on it. It's like, we weren't exactly a base stealing team.
No, I was going to say.
We're waiting on homers, right? And so I think at that time, the joke was that Auburn had 9 middle infielders and we had 9 DHs, and it was like this is what we're trying to show up as. And so, but it's fun. It's fun to still see your name kind of in the record books. It makes you understand that we need some players to come along and take those records, and I think we got those kind of players at Alabama right now.
Yeah. And obviously, this week in Omaha, what we did the past week, elevating the profile of the program is only going to make it that much more attractive for guys who can do that sort of thing, I think, in the future. So something we all look forward to. Scott, we've enjoyed it. Roll Tide to you. Really appreciate it. Always good to see you, and we appreciate you taking a little time to share some of your perspectives on the program and this moment.
Congratulations to y'all. The very first human I ever met that had any connection to the University of Alabama baseball program was Roger Myers. And he made me, the very first time I stepped on campus, it was almost right before I'd signed, and I was coming there and I met him kind of inadvertently. And he was like, oh, you're playing Alabama baseball. I'm Roger Myers. And little did I know we'd be friends forever from that day. And it's just, y'all are a special part of the program, and congratulations to getting to Omaha, because After watching a lot of baseball, y'all have earned this trip to Omaha for sure. My goodness.
Thank you, Scott.
It's been a long grind. All right. Well, thank you
See ya.
again. Thanks for joining.
Appreciate you.
We will hopefully do it again and talk about when we're hoisting the trophy after a couple of weeks. Let's do it.
Hey, I'll commit to that.
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
right.
guys.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
Many thanks, and we will see you all again soon on the Weekly Joe.
Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew in a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Well, it's Bama Blitz.